Good morning. Good morning. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Coachman on Real Estate. Hope everyone is having a great day today. Hope everyone is looking forward to what today brings forth. Today, I wanted to go over a couple things, and one of them is from a case study. And I'm going to go exactly from the case study. This came out of our National Association of Realtors magazine, and it was by Neil Garadia. Neil Garadia out of the NRA or NAR, I'm sorry. So let's take a quick look. I always start my programs out by giving some birthday shout outs. And today I've got three old friends. One of them is Dana Adams, who I met at Park Junior High School when we were in ninth grade. So Dana, happy birthday to you. The other I met when we were young kids, Sandy Hurst Kinder. We did end up going to Park Junior High, and Sandy has been in my life for a good long time. Sandy has, I have known her since elementary school. And Sandy, like I said, we didn't go to high school together, but years later, we met when we had both moved to the Santa Cruz Mountains. Now, Sandy was a realtor in Boulder Creek, California. And Sandy is married to a fellow that I had met up there years ago, Mark Kender. So Sandy and Mark have lived there for just a number of years. But unfortunately, they lost their home, along with many others, lost their home in the Boulder Creek fires this year in the Santa Cruz Mountains. But like the troopers they are, Sandy and Mark are going to be rebuilding. They've just bought another little place up near where their home property was, and they're going to be rebuilding. So Sandy, happy birthday to you. And then another realtor, Brian Babcock, who has since moved to Texas and is selling insurance down there. I believe it's medical insurance that he's helping people get. So Brian, happy birthday to you. And if it's your birthday out there, wishing you all the best. Happy birthday to you. One of the other things that I like to do is talk about the companies that we are using and we have benefited from over this last year. And one of them is Grow Live Academy. And that is a Ken Walls company. Ken Walls is just created a great program for those that want to learn how to go and do live streams. And then the second company that I wanted to bring up, and that's a company that we're using this platform to go ahead and send it out on the internet, and that is StreamYard.com. And one of the ways that I am sending and staying in touch with my clients, sending them messages, sending them videos, is through Hippo Video, and just an excellent way to stay in touch with your clients. So to all three of those companies, if you need more information, I'd be glad to talk with you about them. Now, my name again is Charles Coachman, and I am with Keller Williams Silicon Valley. Keller Williams Realty Silicon Valley, located in Campbell, California. And I hit the wrong link, but this is the buying and selling of real estate is a team business, and no team is without the coach. I have used that for many, many years, saying that, you know what? We get coached on everything. We get coached from the time that we were in Little League. We get coached by our teachers from the very first time we go into kindergarten. And then we also get coached by our parents, helping us to learn how to do things. So the buying and selling of real estate is a team business. That's a team of the client and those that work along with your client to help them finish up the purchase or the selling of a home. So no team is complete without the coach. So there we are with that. And then I just wanted to make sure that everybody saw that I am Charles Coachman with Keller Williams Realty. You can reach me by cell phone or text 408-439-0766 or email Coachman, O-N-R-E @gmail. That is Coachman on Real Estate. Coachman on Real Estate. And so I just wanted to touch base and go over this. I am working with a couple right now. It's a mother and son, and you know, they don't understand really a great deal about real estate, but they are selling a place, and it's the only place that they've lived in for the last 20 years. And so we are going over all the different things that they have to do, and they're not certain that they understand why that they have to fill out all these disclosures. And I wanted to go over and make sure that it was clear with everyone. So I'm going to talk about this in 4 parts: what they are, what they must include, and how do they protect the buyer. So part 1, what are seller disclosures? And I'm going to read pretty much word for word from this article. In real estate sales, disclosures refer to the legal responsibilities to reveal known defects about the home or property they are selling. To say it another way, a person selling their home must tell the potential buyer about the stuff they know is wrong with it. They know is wrong with it. So what I always say is, disclose, disclose, disclose anything that you know that affects the value of your property. The basics you need to know are disclosure requirements, and they vary state by state. I'm here in California. We have some of the strictest disclosure laws in all of the country. They must be in writing. They are not the inspection report. Buyers should get those separately. Disclosures don't require the seller to go looking for problems. That is what the inspection is for. These are items that you need to disclose are items that are known to you. Known to you. They can be in your house. They can be outside your house. They can be within your neighborhood. You need to be aware of it. To give you an example of something a seller should know, let's say an individual wants to sell their townhome. 2 years ago, he or she received notification that there was a known defect in the electrical panel that was installed when the property was built. When a buyer agrees to buy the townhome, the seller must disclose the issue with the panel. If the seller does not tell the buyer about this panel and it causes damage or harm, maybe a fire, then the seller may be in trouble for not telling them. I will leave it up to your imagination to determine what that trouble may look like. To determine what that trouble may look like. And it can come in many ways. What the seller disclosures must include. My rule of thumb is, when in doubt, disclose it. We want to make sure that we are disclosing everything that we know that's going to affect the value of your property. When in doubt, disclose it. While some sellers might believe this is a turnoff, I believe that it is, in fact, a show of transparency to the buyer that builds a level of trust. Further down the road, this may be paid back to the seller and the agent. Some of the common items that sellers should disclose: lead paint not included, which you need to disclose if you have a home older than 1980, basically. So you want to make sure that you are aware of that. Health and safety hazards, disclosing mold, radon, asbestos is a common problem with the foundations also. Is common. Problems with the foundation also. If you're aware of a problem with the foundation, you have to let your buyers know that. Mechanical issues, known issues with the AC or HVAC should be disclosed. Also, water, sewer, and appliances. If you know of any problems with your appliances, you need to let people know. If you are aware that there is a sewer problem, that you have to call out Roto-Rooter every month, You got to let your clients know that, or the potential buyers know that. Structural defects, again, issues with the foundation or the roof, or if you've got walls that you have problems with and you got doors, you've covered it up by painting it, you need to let people know that these defects are there. Flooding, previous water damage. This could be due to environmental or plumbing issues. So we want to make sure that we're disclosing those. Renovations, work the seller has done on the home must be disclosed, whether it was permitted or not. If you can't decide if a remodeling project seems big enough to disclose, it's always best to err on the side of disclosing. If you've taken down a wall to expand a bedroom, you need to let those people know. You need to let the possible buyers know. Pests, termites, and rodents, and among other bugs or other pests, you want to make sure that you're letting people know if you're aware of them. If you are aware of them. Now, that's one of the things that will come up during inspections. Legal issues. Sellers must report liens against the property or bankruptcy proceedings that could affect the sale. Maybe working with a real estate professional is worth it. How do disclosures protect the buyers? A seller's disclosures protect the buyer by legally requiring the seller to tell them of known problems. Therefore, a buyer will know about issues such as asbestos, flood issues, or potentially life-endangering fire hazards. By knowing about these things, the buyers can assess whether the property is worth what was offered. It also enables the buyer to make necessary preparations if they choose to move forward with the purchase. You want to make sure that you're aware of that. Let's use the scenario. Let's use the scenario of a defective electrical panel. If the seller is told the panel is defective, they may either negotiate a lower price, ask the seller to fix it, or fix it themselves. The buyer may also choose to ignore the seller's disclosure and live with the defective box. Now imagine the fuse box didn't work correctly and a fire started. Who is at fault? The buyer or the seller? Are you starting to see how disclosures are beneficial for both parties? Can you also see why it's important to make sure these things are done correctly? Real estate agents should also be able to explain this value proposition to their potential clients. So we want to make sure, and this is something that I will go over with sellers to be sure that they absolutely understand. Now, I'm a realtor. I understand what the disclosures do, but I also remember that, you know what, a lot of people haven't sold their homes since the 70s and 80s and even 90s. And our disclosure packages are much more thorough than they used to be. When we bought our first home, it was basically 2 pages of information. Disclosures were very short. It was mostly just contract. Now, when we bought our second house in '87, there were some reports along with it. There was a little bit more as far as the disclosures go, but it was very small compared to what we do now. Our contract, when it's finished and completed with buyers in hand, is approaching 100 pages. 20 of those pages are going to be your contracts and disclosures easily. Your listing agreement and your disclosures, you are going to be well over 20 pages there. And we haven't even started talking about the buyer or the banks. So we need to make sure that we are disclosing. This is to protect our sellers. We want to make sure that they understand this. And the more you disclose, you might say, oh, it's taken away from the value of my house. But if you sell your home and haven't disclosed something, it can be a lot worse than you could ever have imagined. Ever. So we want to make sure that we tell people disclose, disclose, disclose. We want to make sure that you're preparing yourself for everything that could happen. And I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. Now, that covers that part. I wanted to go back over something that I started yesterday, and I didn't get it completed because I made a silly mistake. And that was looking at properties in Morgan Hill and Gilroy and San Martin and seeing what's available out there as far as single family homes and looking at condos and townhomes. What's active, what's pending or contingent, and what's been sold in the last 30 days. So I wanted to take a look and go back there and do that. So I'm going to take a moment here and share my screen, get everything ready to go. And I am already set up with that page. I'll come back and check and see if there are any questions to answer. But we will go and take a look at that now. Make sure that we are on there. And we have brought the screen up already. So I'm going to go and read directly from Matrix. So what I have got here is I've got active listing single family home in Morgan Hill, Gilroy, and San Martin. Right now, there are 82 single family homes, 82 of them between Gilroy, Morgan Hill, and San Martin. Now, we've got a lot of these properties that are large properties. Many of them have acreage on them. So you need to go through and take a look at those and see exactly what you're working with. But one of the things that we were talking about with people because of the pandemic, some people are saying, you know what, maybe I should leave San Jose and possibly just move out to Morgan Hill or Gilroy. So it's a little bit less crowded. And some companies in the Silicon Valley especially, they're not bringing people back to work. They're letting them work from home. And being a little bit further out of San Jose, you can get a little bit more home for the money, a bit more home for the money, and possibly a little bit of land. And you can be in smaller cities. And you have to really take a good look at it. So single family homes that are active in Gilroy, Morgan Hill, and San Martin, there are 82 on the market. Now I'm going to switch it and take it over to contingent and pending. You have 111 homes that are contingent and pending, single family homes, and then sold in the last 30 days. And you're watching me do everything right there. And so I'm just putting in from 0 to 30 days that have sold. And there are 58 single family homes that have sold in the last 30 days. So basically in Morgan Hill, Gilroy, and San Martin, we have 2 months worth of inventory because in actives, let's see, solds, we have 58 homes that have sold in the last 30 days. I'm going to get rid of that. And then I want to move us back over to active. And we had, oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't 2 months worth of inventory, 82. So it means we have a little over a month. For some reason, I thought it was 111, but that was under contingent and pending. So we've got 82 homes that are active with 58 being sold. So you've got a little more than a month's inventory. So we will keep an eye on that. Now I want to move it down to condos, condominiums, and townhomes. Actives in Morgan Hill, Gilroy, and San Martin. You have 14 actives. You have 16 contingent or pending, and then sold in the last 30 days. Let's see. So I'm going to go 0 to 30. 0 to 30. You've got 6. So you've got a couple months inventory out there. You want to take a look at it. So I'm going to take a look at the actives again. You had 6 that were sold. Get rid of that. And you got 14 that are available. So basically 2 months worth of inventory. And that's no different through almost all of the Silicon Valley, from Palo Alto in the north to Gilroy in the south to Milpitas. Everywhere has about 2 months worth of inventories on condominiums and townhomes. That is nothing unusual. We just know that our homes, single family homes, have been selling a lot quicker in San Jose and parts north. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at one more area, and let's move it into Santa Teresa. Santa Teresa. I'm going to switch this back to single family homes. Active single family homes in the Santa Teresa area of San Jose. We have 9 active homes. Contingent and pending in the Santa Teresa area. We have 17 pending, and then sold in the last 30 days. We have 18. So let's take a look at those actives. They have sold 18 single family homes in the last 30 days. Actives, only 9 active. So we have got less than a month's inventory available in the Santa Teresa area if this keeps following the pace that we had followed in January. Let's take a look at condominiums and townhomes. Now, I have sold both single family homes and condominiums and townhouses in the Santa Teresa area. And there are some beautiful places out there. Beautiful places. So active condominiums and townhomes. We've got 6 active in the Santa Teresa area. Oh. Contingent and pending, we've got 9 condominiums and townhomes available in the Santa Teresa area, and then sold in the last 30 days. Sold in the last 30 days, we have 10. So we have got less than a month's inventory. Let's scoot that back down. Let's get that back where we want it to be. So we started out looking at actives. We have 10 sold. And actives, we've got 6. So we've got less than a month's inventory on condominiums and townhomes in the Santa Teresa area. So we've got to take a good look at that. Take a real good look at that. I'm going to move back to our screen now. So that, we will say, is it for this day with the MLS. Tomorrow I'll be back with another topic to discuss. Over the next few weeks, we are going to be getting back to our interviews and talking with people who work within our industry. And I look forward to having you join me on Coachman on Real Estate. Coachman on Real Estate. And if you'd like to get a hold of us, I am Charles Coachman, and we are with Keller Williams Realty Silicon Valley. You can text or call me at 408-439-0766, or you can send me an email at Coachman at Coachman, ONRE at gmail.com. That is Coachman on Real Estate. Coachman, ONRE or you can find us on one of our many websites. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you'd like to share this out, we would certainly appreciate it. Have a great day. Goodbye.